What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ance. I'm back again. It's y'all's favorite time of the week. Everybody's always asking for it. It's time for roster update predictions. Let's break down what we got going on. 2 weeks ago, or the last roster update about a week ago or so, I should say, was the biggest roster update we've ever had in MLB The Show. So we'll see if they can top that with this next one. I don't think we're going to quite get to that caliber. What, there were like 11 new diamonds, all sorts of new golds. I think this one's going to be a little bit more tepid than that. Not quite as crazy, not quite as chaotic. So maybe temper your expectations ever so slightly for how many upgrades we're going to be getting. But of course, as always, somebody will be upgraded. There will be some golds to diamonds. There's going to be some silvers to golds. Let's go ahead and take a look at it and break it down. Now, before we hop into our exact predictions, let's just go ahead. I have the market pulled up here. If you've been investing in the roster updates, you've been keeping up with it, you'll know that there's something a little bit different about this current roster update, and that these prices are very low. Even some of these obvious guys, the prices on these cards, I mean, we have 83s right around quick sell. Devin Williams was just diamond a couple weeks ago. Now he's at quick sell 1,000 stubs. Verdugo's an upgrade candidate. He's at quick sell. There is a lot of quick sell cards on the market, a lot of low cards on the market, a lot of room to make a ton of stubs with this roster update, right? The market has absolutely tanked over the last week, and that's all due to the pack sale going on. We can see if we come in, we buy packs. A 50 bundle is now only 37K instead of the normal price that it usually is. So that's making a huge impact on the market, and it's just crashing the prices of all these live series cards. I mean, even the guys like Mike Trout have come down in price. But look at his market trend. I mean, he's come down in price over 100,000 subs. We come in, let's take a look at some of these live series. Joe Musgrove, for example, he's not in my roster update prediction video. Take a look at his marketplace. I mean, he was getting up to like 4K or so, crashing down with this pack sale. So many more people ripping packs, getting those guaranteed golds from the ballin packs, plus golds that they're pulling in their 50 bundle. They're selling those bad boys on the market, and it's definitely deflating the market overall. So in terms of a roster update to invest in, even though this one could be smaller in terms of the amount of cards that are getting upgraded, a lot of room to make a ton of stubs based off the fact that so many cards have dropped in price. And instead of coming in and getting some of these upgrade candidates at 3,500 subs or 4,000 subs, you can get them in at 3,000 or 2,500 subs, and you have so much more room to make some profit. So with that being said, let's hop into who we're looking at this week. So the first guy we're looking at here, if you've been following along with the channel, you've been following along with our roster updates, we've been hyping up this player right here since he was 1,000 subs quick sell. He was there for weeks and weeks and weeks. You could have picked him up. Could have picked up 1,000 of them, and he's almost a guaranteed lock to be a diamond. Now, my man OZZY, he's been absolutely crushing. It was only a matter of time before that batting average on balls in play came up. His exit velos were insane. He was hitting the ball well. So far this year, he's been hitting with power more than he ever has over the course of his rest of his career. And in the month of June, hit 321 in the month of June overall. Now, of course, his numbers versus lefties, those aren't going to get touched, but 54 contact versus right, 56 power versus right, lots of room to grow there. He's batting 247 versus righties. League average is around 235 or so, give or take. And the average attribute in game, an average contact attribute for the average player, is a 60. So a little bit of room to grow there. And he has 9 homers versus righties this year. So definitely some room to grow on the power side of things. He's right at an 84. Who knows how much he needs to get to a diamond, but it's probably not very much at all. A slight boost to his power number versus right, a slight boost to his contact number versus right. He gets the diamond very, very easily. I definitely see him going there. He's been hot. He hasn't been cooling down either. He's only trending upwards. I still love OZZY. He's a little bit more expensive. We've been pumping him since he's been 1,000 subs. You could have cashed in big time, but still some time to come in here, make a little bit of stubs, or get in some of those pre-orders for when he does go diamond, and all of a sudden you're picking up those later on orders around like the 2,500 stub, 2,000 stub mark. Lots of opportunity there. Next guy we're looking at here, Freddy Peralta, has been absolutely crushing it so far this year. Now, obviously, you look at his stats, you look at the hits per 9, you look at the Ks per 9. We always talk about room to grow. Where do they have the opportunity to get upgrades? It's not with the hits per 9 and Ks per 9 for Freddy Peralta. He's already really good rated there. He's been crushing it so far there. as well this year, but already really good rated. But that walks per nine, 41 walks per nine, his walks per nine number is a full 1 walk per nine lower in the month of June than it has been over the course of the rest of the season. So he's been improving that number. That's where his upgrade comes in. He's an 84 overall, so only needs just a slight bump there to get that upgrade. He's had some really good outings in his recent couple starts as well, only walking a couple people each of the last 2 starts, and then walked nobody over 7 innings in the start before that. So his walks per nine, he's starting to cut down on the walks ever so slightly, and with that, he just needs that slight bump there to get up to diamond. He could easily get it this week. I like Freddy Peralta in terms of looking at his price, 3,600 stubs, so quite a bit of room to come in there and get in some investments and get on him before he goes diamond, or again, get those pre-orders in, wait for him to go diamond, cash in at that point. Now the next guy we're looking at here, Red Sox closer Matt Barnes. He's really come down in price quite a bit. We'll look at his marketplace trend. At one point he was considered almost a lock to go diamond, has really come down in price since then. He's only 1,500 stubs right now on the market. You want to talk about investment with some room to grow and make a lot of subs, this is the one for you, Matt Barnes. Now, part of the reason this price came down, he had a couple bad outings, gave up a couple runs in back-to-back outings. That being said, though, he's kind of returned back the ship back around, had a couple dominant outings, did give up a run in his last outing, but more importantly, he's not been walking people. He still hasn't been giving up that many hits, and he's still been striking out a ton of people. His strikeout numbers are well above his career norms, almost 3 strikeouts per 9 innings, higher than it was last year, and his walks per 9 have cut in half from where it was previously. Now 62 walks per 9, that's a pretty solid rating. He's walking at 2.25 batters per 9 innings right now. That 62's pretty solid, but again, he's at an 84, so he just needs that little bump. I think he can get an ever so slightly higher bump to that walks per 9 rating to get up to diamond. Now of course, relievers can always be tough to go diamond. A lot of the times they need some really good stats to get up to that diamond tier, as they really have to have the dominant per 9 numbers. But Matt Barnes has been pitching well. Outside of a couple rough outings, he's been really dominant. Even on his rough outings, he hasn't pitched poorly in those. His last game, for example, he pitched an inning, struck out 2, gave up 1 hit. That 1 hit just happened to be a homer. A little bit unlucky there. Before that, he had pitched 5 straight scoreless outings without walking anyone and striking out multiple per outing as well. So Matt Barnes has still been looking really solid, and I especially like him at a stub price of 1,500 subs on the sell now. Next guy we're looking at here, keeping it with the Red Sox, one of the most surprising teams in the MLB so far this year. It's Hunter Renfro. He's been crushing it after coming out the gate. He had 167 in the month of March and April, and it wasn't looking too great then. But since he had 319 in the month of May, 295 in the month of June, and he's been absolutely crushing the ball so far. Obviously, and talking about room to grow, that contact Bauer versus right is where he needs. He's batting 246 versus righties, so a little bit of room to grow in that contact number. Plus, he has 7 home runs versus righties so far this year as well. That's a pretty solid numbers for a guy like Hunter Renfro with pretty poor splits. Just needs a slight upgrade there. The contact definitely needs an upgrade, and that's been even better. That 246 is including that first month where he batted 160. So he's even been hotter since that moment. I definitely see him getting that slight bump to contact versus right. That's all he's going to need to get up to gold, as he's already at a 79. Looking at his price, 565 stubs on the sell now. Pretty good place to be. Look at his trend line. He has been trending up, but his price is a little down from where it's been. He had been trending around 1,000 on the buy now, around 600 on the sell now. 565 on the sell now. You can almost double up your stubs if you get it on him, and he makes it up to that gold tier. Next guy we're looking at here, Ryan Presley, maybe one of the most overlooked guys right now in the league so far. He's been absolutely dominant. He did not give up a single run in the month of June, not one, closing out the games for the Astros, who have gotten hot as of late, playing on a good team. And you look at his per 9, none of them really jump out at the page, even though he's striking out 11.5 batters per 9 innings. His walks per 9 is a 1.29 per 9 innings. That could definitely get a jump up. His home runs to 9, a 0.26 per 9 innings so far this season. His rating's just a 68. His per 9 are low as well. He has a sub 2 ERA. I'm not so sure if Ryan Presley, he's not just going to be going gold. He's almost certainly going gold. he could keep on going up all the way to diamond. He's been absolutely dominant so far this season. And it's even more impressive when you just look at his June stats. After a couple rough outings in Maine, he's striking out 15 batters per 9 innings while only walking 1 batter per 9 innings in the month of June. He was absolutely dominant. You don't say lock very often. Lock is a very, very tough word. I don't like throwing it out there, but like Ryan Presley is going gold. I think Ryan Presley could end up going diamond. Not this update, of course, but long term, I think he has diamond potential if he continues to pitch months where he doesn't give up any runs and doesn't walk anybody and strikes out multiple people per appearance. He needs an upgrade all across the board. You look at his price, it is a little bit higher, 609 stubs, but of course, it's almost risk-free investing. You can't get much more of a guy who's deserving to get an upgraded than Ryan Presley. 609 on the sell now. Still some room to grow from that. If you invest in that, you're making 400 stubs per. That's a pretty solid growth right there overall. Last guy we're looking at here, the last guy we're talking about today, are silvers to golds, golds to diamond, all the ones we're talking about. Another guy on a team that's been surprising a lot of people, the Giants, been crushing it this year. Anthony DeSclafani, he's been a part of that. He's been a part of that rotation that has been pitching very, very well. He is a 78, so he does need a +2 overall. Needs a little bit more work than some of the other people we talked about, but he's been pitching very, very well. After a bit of a rough May in which he got roughed up a little bit, he turned it right back around. Had a dominant month of June. We probably see him in the Player of the Month program that's coming out this week. He absolutely dominated everybody in June. 1.69 walks per 9. He needs an upgrade there. His Ks per 9 at a 9 Ks per 9, around the 8.5 Ks per 9 on the season. Lots of room to be upgraded there. His batting average against is just 171. Hitters just batting 171 against them over the month of June. So his hits per 9, those need an upgrade as well. Another guy who just kind of needs across the board some pretty firm upgrades, especially with the way he's been pitching. And at a 78, you can see the +13 with his inside edge gets him to an 83. So he can definitely easily get a +2 overall if he gets a couple points to his hits per 9, a little bit to his Ks per 9 and walks per 9, which is where I really think he's going to get some firm upgrades. And the best part about DeSclafani, best part about him right now, 305 sell now on the market. You want to talk about an ability to make some stubs? 305 sell now on the market. If he gets up to gold, you're making 700 stubs per card that you have of him. That's called some big time money making moves right there. You're making quite a few stubs off of that per each of those transactions that you have. So that is what we're working with this week. As you can see, Georgia clearly is not too interested in who's getting upgraded and downgraded in MLB The Show, but that's what I'm working with. Those are the 6 guys I'm looking at: silvers to golds, golds to diamonds. Of course, I'm missing somebody. I always am. I always do. Hit me up down in the comment section below. Who do you think is getting upgraded this week? Ask me your thoughts on people. I love talking baseball. I love talking stats with all y'all. My favorite part of these videos. Getting to chat with each of you down in the comment section below about who's getting upgraded, who could be getting downgraded, who should we be throwing some investments at, who am I overlooking, who am I not thinking about, who's starting to get hot at the right time, who's maybe due for a breakout. Let's chat about it down in the comment section below. As always, though, if you enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, though, I'll catch y'all around.